6 o'clock, no place I'd rather be than right here, Bowden Road. We have got a ton to do, ready for the next couple of hours, several different subjects, most on the Jaguars. Got a couple of other areas I do want to reach as well, but unfortunately, we begin with awful news. This just came out minutes ago. Kyle Busch has died at the age of 41. All right. He was reportedly very ill. He was hospitalized. There's a statement that has come out from Richard Childress Racing saying that all of NASCAR, we are, and I quote, "We are devastated to announce the sudden and tragic passing of Kyle Busch. Our entire NASCAR family is heartbroken by the loss of Kyle Busch, a future Hall of Famer. Kyle was a rare talent, one who comes along once in a generation. He was fierce. He was passionate. He was immensely skilled, and he cared deeply about the sport and fans." End of quote. 234 races he has won across the sport's 3 national series. That's more than any driver in the history of those 3 combined. So this just came in. It's one of the rare times I can ever remember starting a show with something as tragic as this. I know there are tons and tons of NASCAR fans out there, and there's even more overall race fans that are out there. I don't know an awful lot about the sport. Again, I used to fake my way through it when I was in Chicago just so I could get the trip every year back to Daytona in February for the Daytona 500. I think I've covered 25, 26 Daytona 500s in my life. I was there when Dale won. I was there when Dale died. I went to many of the summer races as well. It's absolutely spectacular. And obviously, I've learned an awful lot about Kyle Busch over the last couple of decades. But this is just a terrible way to get things started. I didn't want to dismiss the story simply because I know that there are so many fans out there. And Kyle Busch, I think, was one of those guys that didn't you kind of ride the middle with him? You were either totally in or you were not in at all. And we'll get some more details. But, you know, as soon as it came out, the first thing I thought of was he racing, right? I mean, that's what comes to mind when you hear about a guy this young, 41 years of age. But apparently that is not the case. Instead, it was a severe illness, and he is gone. You a racing fan? I know you.
I'm not, but I always liked Kyle Busch because he was like a loudmouth who he told it how he
Very
thought
spirited.
it was. And yeah, I always enjoyed him as a character.
Mhm.
But man, that's only 5 years older than me, man. That is
41.
really, really young.
Let's see here. It says this, our thoughts are with Samantha, Brexton, Lennox, Kyle, and Samantha's parents, Kurt, and all of Kyle's family. It also mentions the Childress family. So, wow. Hate to start with something of that significance as a way to really pull me out of a mood that I was planning on getting in. I'm going to get there anyway, but this is terrible. It just seems like we cannot go a week without a celebrity passing. And, you know, some have gone recently that have been very controversial, worldwide, not only in sports, but in political and in government and, you know, with authoritative. You look at Mark Furman, who died last week. I mean, a lot of people were almost celebrating his death. I'm certainly not going to get into that. But, you know, this here at 41 is really damaging. Really, 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 really bad news. So, again, if you're joining us for the first time, this just came in right as the show began. It's a good thing I didn't see it on my phone because I probably wouldn't have believed it, that's the era that we are in. But I'm watching the Gators Crimson Tide baseball game. It's now 7-0 Florida, and I look up on the crawl, and everything's in black and white as far as the crawl, and then all of a sudden a big red blotter appears, and that's where I saw it. So I looked it up, and of course it is the first story right now on ESPN.
What's going on online right now is there's a video that Fox NASCAR posted May the 10th, and it's Kyle Busch asking for a doctor to meet him after the race at Watkins Glen. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Wow.
But it's very eerie knowing what's happened today. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it.
Someone else recently died it was an illness. I'm trying to remember who it was or what the situation was, but again, it was the flu or they were ill. And of course, we went through this with COVID. We saw so many people go away. I mean, I think everyone listening has been affected somewhat by the passing of someone that you knew, whether it was a good friend, unfortunately a family member, maybe just a colleague at work. But there aren't a lot of 41-year-olds who die this way. Now, I have no idea what the illness is. I mean, and I don't even want to speculate here. It's a severe illness. Let me see. Kyle Busch will not compete, yada, yada, yada. All right, so this came out at 10:57 this morning. NASCAR Cup Series driver Kyle Busch will not compete in Sunday's Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte after being hospitalized as the result of a severe illness. Wow. So this happened quick.
Very sudden. Yeah, he asks. I mean, I'll just play the audio.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Now, when is this from last week's race?
This is from the 10th. So just a couple weeks ago.
Okay, today's the 21st. All right, here we go.
Medical attention available after the race. Here's his radio.
And can somebody try to find Bill Heisel? He's the Hendrick doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. Hey, do you want Mr. Bill at your car or at your bus after the race? Bus. I'm gonna need a shot. Copy. He'll be at your bus.
I'm gonna need a shot. So maybe he's been struggling with something like that. He's been keeping to himself for a while.
Don't even know what to make of that, but it's scary. I mean, that's 11 days ago, and he's talking about needing medical attention, needing a shot, and here it is again. The story at 10:57 a.m. today came out that he was in the hospital. He would not race this weekend in Charlotte, and then it comes in at literally 5:49 that at the age of 41, Kyle Busch has passed. So I imagine we'll have more details on this. I don't know what else to say at this point other than it is absolutely shocking. No question about it. And certainly this is going to hurt a lot of people in the NASCAR community, including what I have to believe is a very young family. I mean, he's only 41, right? It's got to be a young family that all of a sudden is missing their dad and others who loved him. So if we get any information at all on Kyle Busch over the next couple of hours, we will definitely turn around and share that with you. Okay. In the meantime, we've got a lot to do here tonight on the program. I'm really fired up about what is going on involved with the media. I'm going to wait until after our first break to dive into that, but it really begins on what I watched last night. And if you did take part in the, once again, road victory by Las Vegas, getting up 3-0 in Colorado, the Avalanche without arguably their best player, Cale Makar, arguably one of the top 3 players in the world, right there with his teammate and Nate McKinnon. Before you know it, it's 3-0. The Avalanche did come back, but it's a 4-2 final. The road team wins. Sean McDonough is simply outstanding. And I've known Sean McDonough forever. I worked with him at the Sporting News. He did a local show in Boston on the station we were at night, and I became fairly close with Sean, and he would come on my program every once in a while. But when this kid got out of Syracuse, he was doing Red Sox games. You remember him in college football. Certainly you remember him in the NFL. He's gone back to college football, was real good. He does baseball. He's called the World Series. You listen to what he did last night, and it's just an incredible call. I think he is arguably the best broadcaster if you look at every sport that we have. Now, Mike Tirico is right there. And many of you may say, no, Tirico's better than McDonough. Tirico's younger than McDonough. If you want to go down that road, I'm not gonna argue with you. I think we're blessed. We're in a great era with tremendous play-by-play broadcasters. I do think we're lacking when it comes to analyst work. I'm surprised there isn't really a go-to that is so above the rest. I miss Eddie Olchuk. He's been dealing, he's not part of it here at ESPN. I think John Smoltz is very good. I don't think there's a guy in football. I mean, everyone tried to tell us that Tony Romo was something that was special. I never did see that. Jim Nantz to me is always the go-to, but I mean, look at where Nantz is in his career. He calls 20 football games a year, and he calls golf. And he and others were very criticized by the way that they handled last week's PGA Championship. I wasn't as down on this as others, but I want to get into this on the other side. Not only that aspect of it, which is all positive, but perhaps the other side as well. There's been some interesting stories that have trickled in over the last couple of days that I imagine some of you out there are aware of. Maybe all of you out there are aware of. Nonetheless, we'll dive into that coming up in our first, or make that our second opportunity. Also going to hear from Mark Duffner today. Again, I was with Mark at the Jaguars rookie minicamp recently. Of course, Jacksonville will be back out on the surface at the Miller Electric Center coming up on Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. So we'll see the entire 90-man roster on that Tuesday. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks at Shmunez Vision. It's as simple as that. It's about your eyes, and it's about your eyesight going away. It happens to each and every one of us. You want 20/20 for the rest of your life? Well, for starters, make an appointment at Shmunez Vision. Then ask about laser eye surgery. You could be a candidate. Very affordable. And just think about how cool that would be, never having to wonder where you left your readers or falling asleep with contacts, or all of a sudden, looking in the drawer and it's like, oh my God, I'm out of contacts. Have you ever dealt with this? You're out of contacts and then you go to order them and they're going to say, well, you can't order them right now because you haven't had a prescription update. And I don't know what it is, 6 months, a year. I don't know, because I visit Shmunez Vision at least twice a year, whether I need to see them or not. But I would hate for you to get stuck in something like that. Again, laser eye surgery, it would prevent all that. 37 years worth of experience when it comes to surgery with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram, get all of the testimonials at Shmunez Vision.
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us all your real name?
My name is 1010XL.
You do have a name.
My name is 1010XL.
Hey, Gate fans, power up your meal with an electrifying deal. My Gate Rewards members can snag a Monster Energy for just $1 when you buy any made-to-order entree. Breakfast bowl or pizza, it's your choice. Just add a Monster and boost your day. See store for details.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you, on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides, and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
I'm with Sullivan from Cycles of Jacksonville. And Sullivan, you love the beach and you love to ride. So tell everybody what Honda's got cooking right now.
Yes, definitely. Here at Cycles of Jacksonville, we have a full line: Hondas, Vespas, Triumphs, everything you can think of just to ride to the beach. It's going to be the best summer ever when you hop on that ride this year.
And so if you head to the showroom first, you're going to see all sorts of examples of what they can enjoy.
Exactly. Come see us at the showroom, Atlantic Boulevard. We're ready to see you there.
You can log on, check out their Facebook page or cyclesofjacksonville.com.
College football isn't just a season, it's a sisterhood. Bold Ladies is the women's membership group of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, where community, connection, and college football come together. This is Stacy from 1010XL, and I enjoy my membership. From exclusive events to networking, philanthropy, and unforgettable game day experiences, Bold Ladies is where women make an impact. Visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com and join today.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year. And the classes are 100% tuition-free. Apply before June 11th and start your new career at NEFBAapprenticeship.org.
This Sunday, in the first season of women's professional soccer in the River City, Sporting Jacks hosts its first ever playoff game. Sunday at 5 p.m. at Hodges Stadium, Sporting Jacks takes on Carolina Ascent in the Gainbridge Super League semifinal. And to kick off this historic night, $1 beers and $1 hot dogs during the first half. Come stand behind your local pro soccer club and help push Sporting Jacks to victory. Call 904-863-KICK or visit sportingjacks.com for tickets. Sporting Jacks, pro soccer, pro Jacks.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you tonight till 8 o'clock, Hackers in Hawaii, or at least on the way. He will be back in 10 days. Wish him the very best. Hawaii, how cool is that? Not as cool as right here in Duval. And it was anything but cool today, man. It was, 89, 90? It was blistering out, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Give me the heat. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at the Alexander Law Practice. I'm going to dive into that in just a couple of minutes. I want to get your opinion on this. Because, everything changes. It changes right in front of us. And whether you want to be a chameleon and adapt, that's up to you. I've adapted to everything in life except for music. How about that bass line there by the late John Entwistle, right? In Eminence Front. I mean, that's it. My music is my music. Outside of that, though, I find myself changing with everything in our world. It's as simple as that. But I've always been a believer that our job is anything but simple. But the role is this, and there's only one rule, okay? We cover the stars. We cover the players. Without them, we don't have jobs. They're the stars, the players of the game, whether they do it right or wrong, whether they're good or bad, whether they came in and they were brilliant, they got older, and their skills diminished, okay? We do not have jobs without the players. I was taken back by the Diana Rossini situation. The reason why is not because of what she did. That stuff's always gone on. In really every form of business. I mean, it's gone on in politics. Look at our presidents. Go back to JFK. I'm sure prior to that as well. It happens in Hollywood. You got guys serving time behind bars now. It happens locally, it happens nationally to improve your status, to improve your employment. It's gone on forever. I thought it was real rough for women that are trying to get into this business, women who have gotten into this business, and now they are subjected to this stereotype once again. Honestly, I feel bad about it. Also, the flip side, look at the media. How many have gone overboard to do what? Totally protect Diana Rossini. They won't say a word. Look at ESPN. ESPN made such a big deal about the Coldplay affair. Once an affair came out that involved someone who once worked for them and someone who was tied with another major mainstream members of the media, they left it alone. How many other people out there have just left it alone? Okay. Then you get to Stephen A. Smith, and I think that's a fine line. You love him or you hate him. Well, I don't hate anyone, okay? I like Stephen A. Smith, and I'll tell you why I like Stephen A. Smith. I think he's an original. We've seen so many others who have become more than a contrarian. They've sold out and said things that they do not mean simply because of the paycheck. See Colin Cowherd. See Skip Bayless. The list goes on and on and on and on. I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing if someone was offering me $5, $10, $20 million a year, okay? I'm not saying I wouldn't do it either, all right? Stephen A. Smith's original. Stephen A. Smith says what he wants. I think he's overworked. I think he's been wrong a lot of times where, frankly, he shouldn't be talking about certain subjects. Certainly, he should be on the NBA. That is his expertise. But this is the same guy now who's done it again with Jaylen Brown, okay? He has taken himself and he has made it where he is as important as Jaylen Brown. And the story is all about Jaylen Brown. If you don't know what's going on, Boston was up 3-1. The refs made some bad calls. Jaylen Brown popped off. Stephen A. responded. They went back and forth. Jaylen Brown said that Stephen A. Smith is, quote, the face of clickbait media. He needs to retire. And then Smith turns around and says, don't go down that road with me. I have personal information on you that I will release. So Stephen A. Smith is basically saying, don't come at me. I've got stuff on you, and if you do, I'll let it out. Apparently, it's about the city, the team, the fans, the locker room, the organization, Jason Tatum, whatever it may be. I mean, just think about how sophomoric that is to be the highest paid member of the media, $20 million. This guy was thinking about running for president 3 months ago. And again, I'm a fan. But he's now saying to everyone out there, don't come at me. I'll release personal information on you that I have. This is the same guy who, 10 years ago with Kevin Durant said, you don't want to make an enemy of me. Okay? Again, putting himself on the same level playing field as the stars that we cover. The same playing field of the game and the superstars who provide this incredible check for him, okay? I've always been, know the rules, abide by the rules, but are we in an era now where journalism's gone? Journalism is absolutely broken, okay? There's no such thing anymore. I just started off this show talking about the very, very tragic death of 41-year-old Kyle Busch. What's the second thing I said to you? It's a good thing I didn't see it on my phone because I wouldn't have believed it. I would have had to double check, triple check. You got knuckleheads and hackers all over the place now that are just throwing stuff out there with absolutely no recourse. I saw it on TV, so I knew that it was legit. But it always has been, you have your job. I have my job. Okay? Because of the games and the superstars that are there. Has that changed where there are now members of the media, sports media, that are as big as the game and the stars that we cover? Whether it's him, whether it's McAfee, whether it's Portnoy, I don't know. I'm asking. I mean, all the rules have changed, right? You've got athletes breaking their own stories. Tiger was probably the founding father of that. Tiger Woods is like, I don't need the media. Watch this. I'll put it on Twitter. I'm saying I'm going to have a back surgery. You've got podcast after podcast. Of course, you want to hear from athletes, former athletes. They played the game. They know things that I don't. They know things that those of us who did not play the game do not. And, you know, a media fight is really Bush. We've all been in it, but it should be in and out, and that's it. I mean, I get asked all the time. I was even asked yesterday when Jason Lockenfora hung up on me and we did that interview. Is that out there? Can you listen to it? And I'm like, well, yeah, everything's out there. I mean, you can find it. But I remember when Lockenfora lost his job, and a lot of people were like, hey, isn't this great? And I'm like, no, it's not great. I don't want to see anyone lose their job. I called out Jason Lockenfora. I thought he made it up. I still to this day did not think he was sourced. And it was over after the interview. Okay? I was in Chicago when you had the two lead columnists who absolutely despised each other. My buddy Jay Mariotti, who I worked with at Sporting News Radio, lead columnist of the Chicago Sun-Times, and Skip Bayless, pre-sellout Skip Bayless, the major columnist with the Chicago Tribune. That was back when they sold a lot of newspapers. That was back when that was still arguably the number one way to go for your information in the second city in that era. And these two despised one another. Kind of childish in a way, right? So where are you? This is you now. This is why I said I feel like I'm going to get different angles here, different opinions here. Maybe you love the Stephen A. Smith, the David Portnoy, the McAfee, who they're as big now as the King. They're as big now as Ohtani. They're as big now as any starting quarterback in the NFL. Things have changed. The media has changed. Find it very interesting that this is where we are. So I just wanted to begin things before I bring in Mark Duffner and, you know, really start to talk about the Jaguar. I mean, Lockenfora is the one who wrote a week ago, A.J. Brown to the Jags. Since then, you've had, what's his name? He used to be on NFL Network, come out and say it in a podcast. He would come in here quite a bit. James Palmer. James Palmer alluded to it. Yesterday morning, Schefter went on a Philadelphia radio station, talked about the Patriots and A.J. Brown, talked about another team in A.J. Brown. Then when Jacksonville came up, he says, I don't know where that came from. So I don't know if that was a direct shot at Lockenfora or it was an indirect shot at Lockenfora. But again, unfortunately for him, when anything comes out, there's always going to be the feel of, is this really going to happen? Is this really a sourced particular story? So there you go. I just wanted to get things rolling in that particular direction. I mean, I almost feel like, and I want to answer this for you. I don't want to answer it for you. I'm leaving it up to you. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can join us tonight on YouTube at 1010XL into the night. I'm not going to get on that road. I'll just kind of hint that I think age comes into play here of the sports fan. I think there are certain folks who feel one way. I think there are other folks that are like, hell yeah. Give me Stephen A. Smith on steroids. You know, who cares what Kevin Durant thinks? Who cares what Jaylen Brown thinks? Stephen A's the man. And I think that list is growing and growing and growing and growing. Where if this was 30, 35 years ago and it was Howard Cosell, people would be like, hell no, shut up, Howard, stick to journalism. You know, I mean, anyway, so I just wanted to get things rolling with that. We are going to get into the Jaguars next, but I find it really fascinating, the role of the media as of late. Again, you're probably only aware of those who have been crushing Diana Russini. Well, look at some of the most decorated members of this media, NFL media, who haven't said a word. Not one word. Okay? I mean, think about it. You know who they are. Male and female. One word about it. Totally protected. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. Okay? If it's a personal situation, or is it? It's a personal situation where she got professional information, especially about that trade that could happen with the Patriots. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at the Alexander Law Practice. If you have been injured in a car accident, that's awful. There's no other way around it. Listen, there's no retainer fee at the Alexander Law Practice. There is absolutely no consultation fee. You're never going to come out of pocket. If you have been injured, if your car is wrecked, your car is totaled, pick up the phone, make yourself an appointment. The Alexander Law Practice, you're going to be working directly with Rick Alexander. He works one-on-one with each and every one of his clients, okay? This is a bad situation for you, and you may feel as though you have no place to turn. That's not the case. Alexander Law Practice. Check them out online, or you can go to make a call at 400-6600. Again, my best way about it here would simply be check them out on the website. Just go to Alexander Law Practice.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
The new MVP of lunch has arrived. Firehouse Subs Steak and Cheese Melt. USDA Choice Flame-Seared Steak, sauteed red and green bell peppers, caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and mayo on a toasted sub roll. Steak and Cheese Melt only at Firehouse Subs.
Jacksonville is thinking teal, and so are Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. It's Jaguars Today, breaking down everything Jags and NFL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. Weekdays 10 to noon on 1010XL.
When my dad tore his meniscus skiing, he was told that surgery was the only fix. But surgery meant giving up his hobbies, so we went to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. They specialize in non-invasive treatments that get you back to fighting shape. My dad got a platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, injection. It took a fraction of the time to heal, and now he's back to doing what he loves.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, yeah, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Looking for a real career with great pay and full benefits? Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. As a growing, family-owned company that cares about its employees, they're hiring lawn technicians in the Jacksonville area. No experience required. This is a salaried position with top industry pay. Full benefits, a 401k match, and paid training. Apply today at JulingtonCreekPestControl.com. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Equal opportunity employer.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish. Seriously, it was just in my pocket. Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I just found out that Kuhn Flowers makes over 100 floral deliveries every single day. Hacker here, and when I need to send florals or a really cool gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers. They've been doing it for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, let's bring in Mark Duffner. 50 years as a coach, both college and pro. Was lucky enough to sit next to him during the press conference that took place prior to and then after the Jaguars rookie minicamp. Also watched a great deal of practice with him about 10 days ago. Mark Duffner, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, Rick. Glad to be with you.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal time of year. I know you love all sports, and we got a taste of everything. But, hey, next Tuesday we're going to get that next opportunity to get out to the Miller Electric Center and watch them go.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can tell you this. And, as we were both talking when we watched that rookie minicamp on that Saturday, that I was highly impressed with the organization, the movement, the energy, the coaching, the teaching. I mean, this team looked like a midseason team, and this was just the rookies in their second day. So what I think the coaches did in terms of preparation for this rookie minicamp, what they did in terms of teaching, classroom work, it was just highly, highly impressive. And again, I think it's just, again, a snapshot of what is to come.
And you were turning around a lot, looking at the new screen that they have out there, which immediately replays what they're doing on the practice field. How much of an added teaching tool is that really going to be?
It's incredible, Rick. I mean, first of all, for the fans that are listening, this is a huge screen that is filming practice and going, so you can see drills on it, you can see the previous play. And so what they can do with their coaches or with their players is they can take a minute and just take a look at the play they just ran and see it. Everybody can see it. They could coach off of it. It's an incredible teaching tool. I mean, or also when they take breaks between plays, between drills. If they move from 7-on-7 to team, they can just go watch the 7 or 8 play 7-on-7 script and coach off of that because it's right there on the field for them. I mean, it's an incredible teaching device that, again, I wish I would have had my coaching career, but so happy that the Jags have it.
Yeah, they've got it, and, they just continue to do more, and hopefully that will translate into more victories for this football team coming up this year. I've always looked at practices like this, where pads aren't on, they're not doing any hitting
Right.
at all, is
Right.
really focused more on skill guys, not necessarily guys at the line of scrimmage. Can you tell anything at all from the offensive, defensive lineman? I mean, all your work with as a linebacker coach, I know they only had one linebacker out there, but can you
Right.
see anything?
Yeah, no, I think the best thing first of all, you're able to kind of coach alignments, you're able to coach technique, you're able to coach again, responsibilities and so forth in the practice. But what you can really see is movement skills. Yeah, you're not able to see the physicality because they're not in pads, but you're able to see when you have sled work going. You can see explosiveness in terms of guys hitting a sled, which they don't do in a game, but it's still the next best thing. But you're able to see movement skills, change of direction, short area quickness, all the type of movement skills that they need to have to be successful to play, even when they have pads on. So, yes, you can get a lot done as far as that's concerned. And frankly, that's all you can. I mean, you do as much as you can within the rules. With no pads, I'm going to get as much done as we can. So it's a positive experience.
Mark Duffner, our guest, 50 years in both the NFL and as a college coach. Of course, was also a coach right here in Jacksonville with the Jaguars. All right, the two tight ends, a couple of really big kids. And I interviewed Tanner Kozoil after the workout. 6'7", 250. Mark, to me, he looked like he weighed about 220, 225 pounds. With that frame, what do you believe that they can add as far as good weight?
Oh, my gosh, Rick, I was right. First of all, I was, you're right at it, man. You did a great job of getting right to that guy right after the practice. And actually, if you remember, those two guys, once Cosio was done with you, those two guys stayed out. They're the only two guys that stayed out late after practice, still working on technique and drills and so forth. But oh my gosh, both of them have great growth potential, and you necessarily don't want to hear that when you're talking about draft picks. But I mean, they've got great length meaning that they're tall. They've got long arms, big wingspans. Both of them have athletic bodies. I mean, I watched them both. I mean, they're not stiff athletes or lumbering guys. They're athletic guys. They're light on their feet. They can change direction. They're fluid. I was highly impressed. I mean, like you said, I thought Colsey was probably 220. Shoot, they list him at 250 at 6'7". So this guy can be. I think the size that these guys can gain and not lose movement skills, I think, is a lot. And I think that's, if I'm the strength coach, I can't wait to work with these guys. If I'm their position coach, Rich Angulo, the tight end coach, who's an excellent coach, geez, these guys are, I think, really going to be productive players in this offense.
Mark, it's a little long-winded, but I'm really interested. We talk all the time about changes that this team will be able to make offensively, even after improving by 9.1 points a game a year ago, whether it's the screen game, whether it's consistently running, 12 personnel, even more, 13 personnel, whatever. But when you get to defense, it's kind of like, all right, you need to get more pressure. But schematically on offense, there's so many different ways, so many different moving parts. What about when you're Anthony Campanelli, you come back, all right, you've lost the safety, you've lost the corner, you know you're going to add on the defensive line. And you lost Devin Lloyd. What can you do schematically that can really help a football team improve after they already improved a season ago?
Well, I think that first and foremost, Anthony and the staff, examined really what they did this past season with the players that they've got coming back. They looked at each player on the roster that were productive in this scheme and looked at their strengths and weaknesses, and they know way more about them right now than they did a year ago at this time. And even as the season went on, they learned more and more what these guys can do and what also maybe they need to improve on. So I think that I think right now they feel very comfortable in knowing the strengths of their players and how they can put them into position to be more productive within the scheme, and they'll adjust. The good coaches adjust the scheme to the strengths of their players. So I think that Anthony, I think you'll see, a slightly different, well, I don't know how slightly, but I think you'll see a different approach a little bit defensively to take advantage of. Now they know way more about these players as they went through a season with them, went through an off season studying their strengths, where they were successful, and now put an application of that into the scheme.
I always take the national media and what they say about the Jaguars with a grain of salt. I mean, there's some good ones out there. There are some others that I just frankly don't think are qualified. But it feels like across the board, draft and free agency, the grades have been very poor in Jacksonville, even though it feels like they've got 22 that they believe in and they trust. How come there's not enough attention spent on who is coming back instead of everyone that you read will say, well, they lost Lloyd, they lost ETN, and they weren't able to go out and replace them?
You know, Ricky, you know this. I mean, it's if it's not a splash or it doesn't have some bling to it, people they ignore it a lot of times. I would love to be, and I love the situation that the Jags are in, where you're comfortable and confident in a lot of the players that you caught coming back. We don't have to worry about adding question marks, because you really don't know how good a player is, veteran or rookie, until you've got them for a little bit. They know now with the number of players, a great number of players they got coming back, and they've studied them, as I said, in the offseason, to what they've got, what their strengths are, and they didn't have to tinker and make as many moves in a lot of ways as a lot of people want to see. People want to get the headline, get the home run, so to speak. Well, we didn't have to hit home runs. We can win with a lot of the singles we've got, so to speak. So I think if I'm the coaches there, I'm excited about the fact we've got consistency coming back. We know these guys. We have added a little bit in the free agency, but especially in the draft, they've addressed it. So they very, I think, confidently and followed an excellent plan and a preparation, if you will, in terms of the draft to add to this team, and I think we'll see the results.
All right, Mark, let's wrap it up with this. Tuesday, they're back out there, the 90-man roster. I think we have 5, maybe 6 opportunities over the next couple of weeks to watch them practice at the Miller Electric Center. Is there a player or two, or maybe just an overall feeling that you'll be looking for during these practices?
Well, I think, I want to see, how the rookies, especially, in the defensive line, the edge guys, how they're going to fit the new defense, row, if you will, is going to fit into the defensive line. And again, I know we're not hitting any people, but just watching them mesh with the defense, I'm going to look at that closely. I feel very confident with a lot of the weapons that the offense has got. When you look at the receivers, I think these tight ends are going to help in a big way. I like the depth that we've added and also the players we've added at the running back position. I'm kind of intrigued, with the rookie quarterback, from Tennessee. I just think that Aguilera, I was very impressed watching him. And again, it was just against air, but he's got good footwork. He's got a really good size. I mean, he's a 6'2", 6'3", 225-pound guy. I like what I saw right there. A guy that led Tennessee in this past season to probably the most, I would say, aggressive offense in the league. They ran more snaps than anybody. They were a high-tempo team. So I like the confidence that he displayed in the rookie minicamp. I want to see how that meshes with the total team right now. So the OTAs will be good to see. What I'm really looking for is like June 8th, June 9th, June 10th, when they get into the minicamp, when they've got all the guys in there and, more team-like as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Going to be a blast, no doubt about it.
Yep.
Hey, happy Memorial Day to you and your family. Thank you, Mark.
All right, Rick. Thank you. Same to you, Al.
There he goes. Mark Duffner, ladies and gentlemen. 50 years as a head coach, positional coach, coordinator. He's done it all, college and pro. Joey Aguilar. I mean, the Jaguars have selected, 2 quarterbacks in the last 10 years? You can go back to Gardner Minshew and then Trevor Lawrence. That's it. And Aguilar wasn't drafted, as you know. He's an undrafted free agent. A lot of people, including myself, thought that they would have drafted a quarterback this past year. Maybe they got a good one off the street in Joey Aguilar. All right, gave you a lot to choose from. The media, the Jags, just a plethora of stuff that is out there. We're going to make hour number 2, for the most part, all about you. We're going to check the odds with Rafael Esparza later in the hour, but there are 2 ways that you can join us. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also tonight on YouTube, go to 1010XL Into the Night.
They get up early every morning to help you start your day with sports and a smile.
That is a good cup of joe.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Crosser.
Good morning.
Kind of like a cup of radio coffee. Mornings on 1010XL.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-460-600, or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey, Hicken here, and oh man, TopDressing.com came and hit my lawn with that deep aeration. I got to see their truck. Ooh, is that cool? It's like a transformer. Aerators rolling right off it. They punched the yard. They dropped their proprietary mix and cleaned up like they were never there. Next step, rich, green St. Augustine grass. If your lawn needs a real turnaround, call TopDressing.com today for your free estimate. They'll make your grass look like a golf course for real. Call today and top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Ready to put your dream car in drive? Get solid rates for the road ahead when you finance with First Florida Credit Union. Enjoy competitive low rates, up to 90 days of no payments and budget-friendly protection plans. Whether you're buying a vehicle or refinancing, stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/autoloans. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit firstflorida.org/autoloans.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll get the listeners involved with this, and it's a first. Who do you want to hear from on Tuesday? What player do you want to hear from on Tuesday? Is it a rookie? Is it a returning player? There are some stars that will not be available for one-on-one interviews. I was thinking Ventrell Miller. Okay. I mean, the message that was sent to him has got to be spectacular. I mean, they have said to him, you're our replacement for Devin Lloyd. And if you remember a year ago at the Miller Electric Center, I mean, those two battled it out. That was one of the most fiercest competitions during camp. So I was thinking Ventrell Miller. Okay. I mean, Bayshell Tootin, Rodriguez. Let me know. This guy that you want. I've got like 5 of these coming up. I'm going to have an opportunity to talk with players. I've never done that before. I believe it or not, I spent almost all my time thinking about this show, and I really put a tremendous amount of effort into it. But why not? Let's get you involved. I mean, no one's more interactive with the listeners than we are here at Into the Night. And that's very obvious if you go to YouTube. That's very at Into the Night, 1010XL Into the Night, and certainly on our text line at 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Ed Orgeron back to LSU. Okay?
Absolutely love it.
I do too. You ever read the book Meat Market by, oh gosh, what was the name of his, he's a sports reporter now for Fox, Bruce Feldman. It's one of the great books.
He's a great writer.
The guy that it's primarily about ended up losing his life too. He was a back out of either Mississippi or Louisiana, and I think he ended up going with Eddie Orgeron and Lane Kiffin under Pete Carroll and Steve Sarkisian and Norm Chow and everything at the University of Southern Cal. But Meat Market's a great book. If you say his name, Joe
McKnight.
There you go. Yes.
Didn't he play for the Jets or?
I think he's been. Yeah, I think he did play for the Jets, but I also believe that he's no longer with us. Really? A tragic accident for him. He died like 5-6 years ago,
10.
Right? 10 years
2016,
ago?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Anyway,
we're getting old, bro.
Yeah, it's a great college football book, which is based primarily on recruiting.
It's amazing how things have changed since then, recruiting-wise. I mean, it's a completely different world.
All right, we got to get to the top of the hour, okay? But here's one. You want to ignite a program? You want to create some excitement? Take the LSU move and let Mike Norvell bring back Jimbo Fisher.
You'll still hear Frank Monday through Thursday. Now Fridays feature The Lead with Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran, 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
Mike Dempsey. If you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on game day. Sometimes it's rolling your ankle, weekend yard work, or just playing catch with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries in hand. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The weather is heating up, and it's time to drop a line in the water. Gear up today at Green Acres Sporting Goods, Jacksonville's fishing headquarters. From Shimano and Penn Reels to Zoom baits and much more for saltwater and freshwater fishing. They've got everything you need to land the big one. And when your gear needs work, trust their expert rod and reel repair to keep you casting like new. Stop by Green Acres today or shop online at greenacresporting.com.
Alert! Alert! Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Bring your home back to life with Zero Res, a fresher clean that you can actually feel. This month, take 25% off all services, hardwood tile, LVP, carpet, air ducts, and more. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Home ice stolen a night ago in Colorado thanks to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Before you knew it, it was 3-0 Vegas. I was about to tweet out, Colorado looks faster in this game. And, of course, they enjoyed more days off, and it just did not matter. Neither did home ice. How about the Hurricanes? The third time in 4 years they've been in the NHL's semis, right? I guess maybe the way that it would be preferred would be to say the Eastern Conference Finals. Last night was the Western Conference Finals. The Hurricanes have allowed 10 goals in 8 games. They have shut down the power play 48 times out of 50 attempts. Very good defensive team. And here come the Montreal Canadiens, who, I mean, John Osher, who joined us last night, mentioned it. What's the first thing he said? Exactly what I said on Monday. The Canadiens were inferior to the Buffalo Sabres. Yet Montreal beat them on the road, just like they did in Tampa. Okay? I mean, this is going to be a blast. So enjoy that tonight. Canadiens and Hurricanes, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Last night's NBA game would not compare to what we saw Monday or Tuesday night. Series even at 1, but that was a little bit more predictable.
Yeah, it was sort of impossible to upstage game 1 in that series and in the other series tonight. You sort of expected OKC to bounce back. They're the better team. You know, they have been for a couple years. They're more deep depth-wise. They can go like 10 or 11 guys, which you never see in the playoffs. And they just fouled the crap out of Wemby. And that's their strategy. We're just going to foul him. You can't call a foul every single possession, basically, is their thinking. I'm really going to be interested to see Game 3, what the officials got going on early in the game, because it's basically going to be up to them to decide the rest of the series, honestly. That's what it looks like.
Knicks a 5.5-point favorite. Of course, their incredible come-from-behind victory. The percentages had it at 99.9% at one point late in the second half that Cleveland would win. Of course, the Knicks got the W, and then they just blew them out in overtime. Tonight, Game 2, that'll be at 8 o'clock. Cleveland visiting New York. Did you see any of Ohtani last night?
I watched all of it.
And how about the decision made to, after 3 or 4 starts where he did not hit, they said, no, let's put him back in the starting lineup. First pitch, he hits a home run.
I was about to say, lead off the game with a home run. I do think that it affected him on the mound because he's been 6 innings at least in every single start this year, but he only went 5 last night. He looked a little gassed, too. He had to get a bases-loaded double play with 1 out to keep his, scoreless streak. It's insane. I think his ERA is down to 0.7 something.
Yeah, 0.73.
So he doesn't have enough innings yet to qualify with the other guys when it comes to the ERA chase, because he doesn't pitch as much as, the Chris Sales, the Paul Skeens, those guys. But by the middle of the season, he will qualify. But just an amazing performance once again from the Babe Ruth of our era. It's amazing. I stay up every single time I see that he's pitching. To me, it's appointment viewing. 10 p.m. I'm there.
Yeah, and
many pitches. He's just a master too. Not even counting how hard he throws. The mix of pitches he has, he fools. It's if one thing's not working, don't worry. I got 4 other pitches in my bag that I can use. I
used to love staying up late at night to listen to Vin Scully. And that was some of the greatest, I talked about at the very beginning of the show, broadcasters. I think we're in a phenomenal era of national play-by-play broadcasters. And again, Sean McDonough, who called the game last night, was simply spectacular. But I love late night, kind of multitasking, reading or doing whatever, and just having the game on in the background.
I'll give you a broadcast that I like. The West Coast guys. San Diego, to me, they have a ton of fun. I never remember the guy's name.
He came over from Boston.
Okay.
He was the Red Sox with Jerry Remy the late Jerry Remy.
Okay.
Don Arcillo.
Yes. And he uses a mic that you are using right now instead of everyone else has the headsets nowadays.
Love old school.
Also, the Giants guys.
Okay.
Who's been around for ages.
Is that Dwayne Kuiper, maybe?
Yes.
Who does
I believe so.
Okay.
But he's great. I won't tell you my opinion on the A's broadcasts, but they're probably the worst in the league. But yeah, and even the guy who took over for Vin Scully, I forget his name, but he does World Series. He's the guy on Fox, Davis.
Okay, is it Joel Davis? One of my favorite interviews of all time, I actually got to interview Ernie Harwell.
And who is he for?
He was, for more than 50 years, he was the broadcaster for the Detroit Tigers. Okay. But when I interviewed him, and I wish I could find this tape, maybe I still have it. I have a lot of taped interviews from way back then. This guy interviewed Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, these are the guys that he spoke with, and this would have probably been in 2000 when I talk with Ernie Harwell.
Got stories. By the way, the new Tigers guy, Benetti, who used to be with the White Sox, he might be the best in the game. He's on Fox too, for the national games. We're very blessed right now.
We are. There's so many great play-by-play broadcasters, and I think Sean McDonough and Mike Tirico are just you can basically say to them, here's the I listened to the PGA Tour. He didn't do it this year, did it last year. Tirico did the Masters on radio. Okay, if I'm driving in here on a Thursday or a Friday, I'm always listening to our radio station. But when there's a major going on, I'm going to put on the PGA Tour Radio Network just to stay totally involved in everything that is happening golf-wise. Any one of those sports, Tirico's going to nail it. Same thing with Sean McDonough. I think they're the 2 best right now.
Yeah, and the energy, I like McDonough better than Tirico. I agree with you. But Tirico game 1 of the Western Conference Finals when he hasn't really been doing NBA in years. I think this is his first year in a while doing it because NBC just got it back. Like, he was phenomenal. And, like, his emotion, just, like, laughing at some of the craziness that you saw Wemby, it was like a guy sitting on your couch next to you. Like, you can tell it's very important for me that the broadcaster is seemingly having a good time.
You should.
And that's sort of what pissed me off about Al Michaels in the last however many years. Is you can tell he just doesn't want to be there. And
He's
it's
aggravated.
like, dude, this job is so much fun and it's so easy. At least lie.
Okay. Jim Nance, I love, but Jim Nance now is golf and the NFL. He no longer does hoops. Okay. McDonough's my number one. Mike Tirico would be my number two. Who's the best analyst in sports?
Just any sport?
I'm going to say Eddie Olchuk in hockey, but I know that doesn't hit with a ton of our audience, so I'm going to eliminate hockey just for the conversation.
Who's the hockey player that also does horse racing?
Eddie Olchuk.
Okay, he's great on horses.
Eddie
I was just
Olchuk.
watching him last week during the Preakness. He's fantastic. I love Smoltz.
Yep.
Part of it is because he is so good at it. He's also a brave. I've loved him my whole life. But the one thing I'll say about him, his energy level to me is not the best. It doesn't match the play-by-play guy in these like big playoff games. But his analysis is spectacular. Whenever he talks about what's going on with the pitchers, you can't get better than that. I like Greg Olson a lot with the NFL. I think Tom Brady did a pretty good job last year. To me, like, I was surprised about how much better he got. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but he got a lot better. I think Aikman does a good job. I think Collinsworth is too like obsessed with the quarterbacks. You know, like no one ever does it. That's probably what I don't like the most about some of these NFL guys is that because all the games are national broadcasts, like they're so nice about everything. They're never, golf's the worst with that. Like they'll never be negative about any of these players.
Unless you're, Johnny Miller, who's no longer doing it, or
yep, he was good.
What's his name? Brandel Chambly. Who
if you play on Live, he's gonna destroy you.
I'm a big fan of his. I think we're sadly, as great as the play-by-play is, I think right now, sadly, we're without a dominant analyst. In football.
I think I have a theory that I just thought of 5 seconds ago on why that might be. So many, and I'm including all sports. So many former athletes. First off, the athletes were getting paid so much that the guys who are recently retired have zero reason to have to come back to TV. So most of the guys that are good are like the Orlovskis, like the backups. Another theory is that like all these former players now have their own shows, podcasts, like they're doing their own thing. YouTube channels where they're breaking down film. Like Chase Daniel, the former backup quarterback, he's one of the best at analyzing quarterback play I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not on a major TV network, but he has his own show. So I think a lot of these guys are making money doing their own thing, or they made so much money playing the game that there's literally no reason to do it unless you're Tom Brady and they're throwing $30 million a year at you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. John Madden to me is always going to be the starting point, but it just felt like back in the day when you had Merlin Olsen, you had Bob Trumpy, and you had so many really good color analysts. But right now, there isn't one. Herb Street, I can't do anymore because he's made it all about himself, and he's gone off and on Twitter.
And his dog.
You say his son. Yeah, I mean, it's just everything he's done. I mean, jumping up and down when Alabama made that pass to beat Auburn. I mean, it's just it's sickening. Aikman, I've never been a fan of, but I respected him when he called out C.J. Stroud when Houston lost. I thought that was a very good moment.
I was about to say
him.
about Aikman, he has been a whole call guys out and be negative when he has to, which I really appreciate.
But he's negative to everyone. I mean, he got the producer, director, and everyone fired. They went from.
That's true.
I mean, he came right in and immediately had that change. He doesn't show up on a Thursday for a Sunday game.
Meetings.
He shows up on Saturday night. So he's a total diva. Collinsworth. The problem with Chris Collinsworth is when he opens his mouth, everything that comes out is absolutely bizarre. And just go back to the Super Bowl years ago when, OBJ goes down. And he's like, oh, my God, what is L.A. going to do? How are they possibly going to move? I'm like, bro, the guy on the other side of the field, Cooper Kupp, won the Triple Crown. He caught the most passes, had the most yardage, and had the most touchdowns. And, Chris Collinsworth, no matter what, this is the best run-blocking left tackle in the NFL. Everyone is the best ever. That's the greatest play I think I've ever seen. Or then it'll be like, there's a great block by a guard, and it'll be like, I don't think I've ever seen a block like that and he'll just go on and on and on and brag and brag and brag about how great the player is. And then his company, Pro Football Focus, comes out Monday morning and they just shred these players with bad grades. So I think in football, Tony Romo never worked for me. It just never worked. The thing Romo had going is it felt like you were maybe sitting in a bar with him talking.
And he's like, and he used to guess the plays.
Yeah.
That was cool for a bit.
It's a run, Jim.
But
it's a
he doesn't
run.
do it anymore.
Hey, Jim, it's a run. And if it's not a run, it's a pass. But I think we're lacking for the great analyst. Great play-by-play guys. Okay, I didn't even talk about Joe Buck or Al Michaels.
Iron Eagle.
Great Iron Eagle. I mean, some sensational play-by-play guys. But we need an analyst to step forward. We'll see. And there's got to be someone out there. I wonder who it would be. Gronk maybe. They're talking about Russell.
Please no.
They're talking about Russell Wilson.
I'm telling you, Greg Olson is elite, man.
Greg Olson's very good. But they're talking about Russell Wilson.
Okay.
All right.
I could see him being good at that.
Yeah, I wonder, who else.
But here's the deal: Russell Wilson's made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, what is getting these guys? I guess just the love of the game. But you're not going to be able to throw him the money that you throw Brady to get back in or to get in the booth. So, it's crazy to me why somebody would make that much money and come back to do this.
You know who's got a shot at it? Jameis.
Oh yeah. He's a little too goofy.
Little too much tomfoolery.
If he turned that down a little bit.
Maybe it's a 3-man booth. I don't mind 3. I mean, listen, I loved Al, Frank, and Dan.
Monday Night Football.
Frank Gifford and Dan Deerdorf. And I didn't mind when it was Mike Patrick, who was passed.
Sunday Night Football
with
on ESPN. Yeah.
Joe Theismann and the former kicker, McGuire, for the Bills. Yep. He got on my nerves a little bit. But anyway, I just think that is where we're at. If you agree or disagree, you can let us know. 641-1010 on the text line. Also tonight on YouTube, you can watch the program. Go to 1010XL into the night. All right, we got much more to do with you until 8 o'clock. When we come back, I got more on the Jags, also a couple of other things I want to take a look at.
He's St. Augustine's favorite son.
I've always admired diplomats.
And Jacksonville's favorite stepson.
It's the stories that you tell.
Joe Cowart.
So much fun and imagination.
From noon to 2 weekdays.
It's not what it looks like.
On 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, method of first basket, free throw, Peace.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
applies.
Summer's almost here, and that means it's grilling season. Before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street and 295. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meat, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at a grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Make Houston's Meat Company part of your weekend tradition.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Nuts? What?
641-1010.
It's crazy.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home at ViStar Ballpark this week and weekend. Join us tonight for Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Tomorrow, a special UF Health Hat giveaway for EMS Appreciation Night on Friday with a Honey Dripper Sunshade giveaway from Arlington Toyota and ViStar on Saturday and CSX Military Appreciation on Sunday. Get your tickets now at jackshrimp.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are two things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right, and will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday, that can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experience, honest pricing, and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence in Jacksonville, trust Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, getting a lot of good stuff. Brock Heward, yes, I agree with you, the 84-46. I also miss Ed Cunningham. I used to think he was real good. He just said, I'm out of here because of CTE. It was almost a Howard Cosell type move when he called that Larry Holmes, Randall Tex Cobb fight and said, that's it. I'm not going to do it anymore. 3800 says, Rick, you don't really think there's a crazy lack of Mill sideline reporters? It's staggering, by the way. Notice today that in Buffalo, Sal, I think it's Capaccio, legend, replaced.
No.
Steve Tasker. Yep. And, you know, it happened to me a few years ago. Listen, sideline reporters, television and radio, they are women. They are former players. Guys like me and Sal Capiccio, did you say? Is that how you say his name?
Capaccio.
Capaccio. They're gone. We're just not around anymore. We're dinosaurs. And I get it. You want it, even though a sideline reporting is kind of basic. I mean, when I was doing it with Loggeman and Baselli and Frangi, I mean, you got 4 guys. I was basically reporting almost always on injuries. Every once in a while, I would see something, but, it's tough to get airtime, and I was fine with it. I mean, I'll be honest. The best part of it for me was just standing right there, watching the best athletes in the world combat. And when you had a guy like Jalen Ramsey who talked trash with the best of them, I'd literally have one of my old school headsets. I'd have one ear off, the flap off the ear, just so I could listen to what was going on. But yeah, and you don't even get more and more of that. And we understand. I'm not going to get into the stereotype of TV, but we saw it way back when. I mean, if it's just some dude, they may show the game. But if it's Aaron Andrews,
while he's talking,
right? But if it's Aaron Andrews, they're going to go down. They're going to have the video. They're going to,
as they should.
There's no doubt. I'm not criticizing. I'm also trying to, avoid the stereotype. But come on, I mean, it's blatantly obvious. So
listen, it's television.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. We don't want pigs on TV. We want beautiful people. That's men or women. So, it's just part of the deal. You know that you have to be a beautiful person to be on TV. That is what it is. Sorry.
And if
they ain't putting me on there.
If you're not, then you're very, 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 very good at what you do.
And you've been grandfathered in. There's no new people that do that job who are not good looking.
Well, they've also brought in the very, very good looking who have been a disaster.
That's true. We see that all the time.
We've seen some, and I'm not going to mention any names. I just don't feel like it. Hey, we mentioned Ohtani. He's down to 0.73 with a whip of 0.84.
Jeez. If you don't know what whip is, that's hits and walks combined per inning. So he gives up less than 1 an inning.
All right. Unfortunately, the story of the day is a really, really sad one. The passing of Kyle Busch at the age of 41. It came in literally seconds before the start of the show. He won over the weekend a truck race. And this is, depending on how you look at it, slightly eerie. This is what Kyle Busch said after his victory.
And a bow in front of the fans that are all on their feet down here at the Monster Mile. And Michael Waltrip said earlier in the race that a confident Kyle Busch is a dangerous Kyle Busch. Your 69th victory in this series, your 5th right here. Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is, So I know all too well, unfortunately, with the Cup stuff, but here with the truck stuff right now is it's awesome just to be a part of Spire Motorsports. Thanks to Jeff and Dan and Mr. H for the opportunity.
Wow. That
obviously he was talking about getting kicked off or not being in the main circuit anymore, but still very, very.
You never know
eerie.
when it's your last one.
He's right.
When you win, especially in team sports, and I guess you can make the case that racing is a team sport, one driver, but so many other members involved in your pit crew and everything else. You always get the no one believed in us. No one thought we would win. That's.
Remember when Kirby did that a couple of years ago? Or he got one of the players and that, after they win the national championship and he's like, people thought we were going to lose 4 games. Dude, Kirby's really got these guys believing.
Well, and it doesn't matter what the situation. You're always going to get that, and it's expected. But how often do you get, you never know when your last one's going to come,
Never.
And then 3-4 days later?
That was very crazy, man.
Now, he had a severe illness. You look at the report that came out this morning at 10:57, it came out and said that Kyle Busch would not participate in this Sunday's Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. And then again at 5:57, or actually 5:49, they announced that he had passed because of a severe illness. Only 41 years of age.
Sad. Lots of kids, wife, obviously his brother Kurt used to race for a while.
That's so young. I mean, to many of you out there, 41 sounds old. Let me tell you something. It's not. It is not. I'm sure Kyle Busch figured that he was going to be able to double that and live into his 80s. And I just, whenever I see this, and it feels like it's like a weekly situation where we're seeing athletes, former athletes who are passing. What a shame that is. I don't want to get into that. Luke Kuechly would be great. 77-76. 74-28. Don't forget about way back Wasden, as we were. Oh, that was from my crosstalk with Frangie. Yes, played at FSU. No doubt. Yeah, I remember those guys. Jonathan Johnson, Paul Wilson, David Yoakum. I mean, Florida's had some great pitchers. 2668. Blue, you have a face for radio. I know. I'm sorry for those of you on YouTube who watch or on Twitter.
FSU baseball, by the way. They play Pitt tomorrow, 3 p.m. And if they win that, they move to the semis and play the winner of North Carolina versus Virginia Tech. In the other semis, it's number 1 seed Georgia Tech versus Miami, Saturday at 1 p.m.
Florida 13-3 right now in the 8th. So I guess you can't 10-run rule. Or maybe this is the bottom of the 8th and the game ends after 8.
Or maybe because it's like a conference tournament.
Right. These rules change all the time. I honestly don't know. The odds for the College World Series, by the way. Georgia, 12-1. Florida, 33-1. Florida State, 35-1. Miami, 75-1.
You'd have to be crazy to bet before you even know who the teams are in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think there's big bets.
No, we could ask Raphael that.
Oh, that's right.
How much money you taking in on the Canes at 75-1?
Raphael coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Hey, they were dodging raindrops today in Dallas, but not birdies. How about Brooks Koepka? An 8 under 63. Okay.
I love his new attitude. So he was interviewed.
Loves the game.
Yeah, he's back. He's been. So they have these elevated events, which, by the way, no-cut events on the PGA Tour with only half the field. Oh, my God.
Right.
For years, I heard about how ridiculous that was for Liv to do. But
Everyone
anyway,
gets a check.
Yeah, so he's not in those events yet, but he's like an alternate. So he'll go to all of them and, wait to see if he makes it in, and he hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But, I just love, he was interviewed before this week's tournament, and he's talking about how he's fell in love with the game, and I love that because Brooks has always been one of the more popular players on tour.
Taylor Moore, part of the late wave, a par 71 here, a 9 under 62, currently 75th on the PGA Tour money list, just over $1 million, in really good shape through 18 holes today. All right, so this is going to be anything but what we saw at the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
I think it was 31 under that won this event a year ago.
Way.
It was something crazy like that. Let me see as we head to this break. 2025, why isn't it?
Yeah, 31 under.
It was.
Scotty
okay.
Scheffler. The second place was 23 under, to be fair.
Wow.
He killed the field.
Yeah. All right, we got much more to do. It's checking with Rafael Esparza as well.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Fred Taylor. If you've been in an auto accident, you need a team who knows how to get you back on your feet and back to your life. At North Florida Medical Center, they don't just treat the injury, they treat the whole person, from physical therapy to pain management. North Florida Medical Center has a team of experts ready to help you heal and recover. I trust the team here at North Florida Medical Center, and you can too. So don't wait. Call North Florida Medical Center and get the care you deserve.
Looking for a real career with great pay and full benefits? Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. As a growing, family-owned company that cares about its employees, they're hiring lawn technicians in the Jacksonville area. No experience required. This is a salaried position with top industry pay, full benefits, a 401k match, and paid training. Apply today at JulingtonCreekPestControl.com. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Equal opportunity employer.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom, who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial pound law or check out forthepeople.com.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. I'm Frank Frangie. The next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call the experts at Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers does it right.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic.
And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic?
Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, for me, I'm going to go to last night and just once again a situation in the NHL playoffs where the home ice means absolutely nothing. Even though they had far more rest, you saw exactly what did happen with Vegas after an incredible, semi-round in their conference, in the conference finals last night. Before you knew it, it was 3-0 Colorado. 3-0 Las Vegas on Colorado's home ice. Colorado did score late, brought the crowd back into it, but it was not enough. So they take the home ice away, and it gets us tonight, game 1 in the East, where the Carolina Hurricanes have not played a hockey game in 11 days. Think about that. 11 days. They also only allowed 10 goals in 8 games. Pretty spectacular stuff. No doubt about it. So that is the very latest there. We'll see what ends up happening, but absolutely fired up to watch this game take place tonight. I mean, it's just incredible what we have seen with Montreal. The fact that I think Tampa was a better team and Buffalo was a better team. They have found a way to advance. winning on the road as well in Game 7, both times winning in overtime.
Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Vegas! Rafael Esparza. How much money did the books make with Aaron Rye as your PGA champion?
Not much. I mean, at one point he was 400 to 1, a couple books, 350 and 300. And all those numbers, there was only one ticket written on those numbers.
Right. And he was only 3 under through 8 on Sunday. So was there, I would imagine there probably wasn't even late money on Aaron Rye.
No, it wasn't. Sunday was probably the most money because we had him against head-to-head matchups, and I think he was plus 2 to 1 to win it. I think maybe Sunday they probably lost, but I think the average bettor was betting Rory and Scheffler and all those guys. So if Rory would have won, I think TV ratings would have been better because I saw the ratings, and we'd be talking about it a lot more.
I know the numbers were ridiculous in favor of Ronda Rousey. Were there special props about her winning in the first round, maybe, halfway through the first round or what have you?
First round, she was minus, I think, $2 to win by submission was minus 250. I mean, everyone wants to complain it lasted 15 or 17 seconds, but that's Ronda Rousey. If she takes you down, she's going to rip your arm apart. I mean, that's how she won most of her fights in the UFC. So it didn't surprise me because Carano was horrible on the ground, and her defense was horrible. She was a striker. She wants to kick, and she wants to punch. So that did not surprise me.
I have not asked you about the Chimaev fight since we were on. He was an enormous favorite, and I know it went to the judges, and it was a split decision going to Strickland. But what do you believe is next? Who is Chimaev going to fight next?
I think he moves weight because I think that's why he lost. He didn't have any energy, and yeah, he was a heavy favorite, but we got crushed because Strickland money was coming all weekend long, and then after the weigh-in, with the people think that he didn't make weight and how Chimaev looked, they all jumped on Strickland. So I think he moves up the rates. But since we're talking about UFC, I want to give you a good fun fact. Nate Diaz last week, who fought, had more tickets written on Nate Diaz than any other team that was playing on Saturday.
Really?
I'm talking baseball. I'm talking hockey. No, hockey didn't play. Mostly baseball, soccer. Had more tickets written than any other of those teams.
All right.
And the Yankees and the Cubs played that day.
That's encouraging. Wow. And he won, right?
Yeah. No, he lost. Matt
He
Perry
got killed.
he beat the blood out of him.
Oh, all right. I missed that one. I watched the Chimaev fight, and
that was the best fight. That was
Rousey.
the best fight of the whole card.
I'll have to go back and take a look at it. Hey, one of my favorite things is to watch the reaction of bettors. I can only imagine what it was like in Game 1 when Cleveland had that enormous lead against New York. Then the Knicks came back. But with live in-game betting, how much money took just a taste of what they put down on New York, only to end up losing it all because they came back and won the game?
The big numbers that I was seeing, like the plus 20s and stuff like that, when they were really down, no live betting came in. Fourth quarter is when all the live betting came in. So yes, you had better numbers in the beginning of the third, but they didn't. I guess they didn't trust the Knicks until the fourth quarter. So the books didn't get really crushed on that one. But for Cleveland, I have a lot of good friends that live there. One of my good friends is Channel 5 sports anchor Nick Camino. Shout out to him. He was telling me the whole city was destroyed. He said it was like LeBron leaving all over again.
Wow. All right. Hey, let's wrap with this. We know that the home ice is not as big of a deal in the NHL. We talk about it every year. But who is, I know Montreal's number 4 as far as the odds. Where's most of the money going now that we're in the conference finals?
Everyone wants Carolina and Colorado, but Vegas won yesterday, so I think Colorado wins. I think they win the Western Conference, but wait, Carolina's play. I don't see any rust coming out today. The only thing that scares me, and you nailed it, 2 things you do when you're in the NHL playoffs to get you far: a good goalie that's red hot, and you win on the road. And what has Montreal done in 2 Game 7s? They've won on the road. So that scares me. I like them plus 1.5 tonight. It just dropped down to minus 145. I think they keep it close.
I know you follow ratings, and, Carolina's had a nice run. They've been here, the conference finals 3 times in 4 years. They haven't made it. But isn't Montreal, even in the United States, a much bigger draw?
You mentioned one word. That's why we don't want to see Montreal in the Stanley Cup. The United States. We don't cheer for Canada to make it into the Stanley
The
Cup.
game was
You
invented
nailed it.
there, Raphael. You got to give them some props. They also brew good beer.
If you were on Montreal radio right now and we were doing this interview, that's a totally different answer. But we do not want to see Canada in the United. That's like cheering for Mexico in soccer to win the World Cup.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And listen, I grew up, I'm supposed to hate the Canadians, just like the Yankees. But what they've done has been just so impressive. I mean, I think they've been, again, the other 2 teams have been better, yet they found a way to win. All right, tell us about your show and your website.
It's going really good. Just posted some wrestling stuff. And we have some NFL stuff coming up. What quarterback's going to win the Cleveland starting one in week 1? Atlanta, Raiders. I can't think of the other 2. Those odds would be up this weekend. So in the show, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Maybe Arizona, maybe Atlanta.
Oh, yeah,
We'll see.
Arizona, Atlanta. Thank you about Arizona. I did 5. I can't remember the 5th one. It's Arizona, Atlanta, Raiders, Cleveland. I can't remember the 5th one.
Vegas? No, it's got to be Cousins, right? And I mean, after all the money they spent,
it is. But the Vegas fans and what I'm hearing, some people and the executives, why did we draft this number 1? This guy's going to sell jerseys. We need him to put him on the field.
Raphael Esparza, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, man.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Don't answer that.
Yeah. What's your name? This is 1010XL. What are you? Jacksonville Sports Radio. I'm watching you. On the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Are knee problems keeping you from doing the things you love? Stop by Riddle Wellness for a free in-office workshop May 27th at 11 a.m. in Ponte Vedra. Discover natural, non-surgical options that may help relieve knee pain and improve mobility, including regenerative treatments and decompression therapy. Get back to living with less pain. Space is limited. Call 395-5598 now to RSVP. Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra Beach, 395-5598. Be there May 27th.
It's Gator passion on display when Patrick Young brings power forward intensity to the drill.
Patrick Young, a rip and a run.
Fast breaks and clutch shots with Dan and Jeff. Friday mornings at 8:30. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year. And the classes are 100% tuition-free. Apply before June 11th and start your new career at NEFBAapprenticeship.org.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, The products and services, the best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Memorial Day. 0% financing available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway and tell them Prosser sent you.
This summer, there's no better place to belong than the YMCA. Right now, if you join the Y, we'll waive the joining fee, and your 4th month is free. Start enjoying everything the Y has to offer today. Pools, group fitness, family events, youth programs, and a supportive community that's here for you. At the Y, it's more than a membership. It's a place to connect, grow, and thrive. There's no place like this place. Join the Y at fcymca.org and use code FREEMONTH.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's a light night in Major League Baseball on this Travel Thursday. Pretty busy day, however, and night. College baseball related. NBA tonight, NHL tonight, fired up for both, especially on ice. What do you have over here as far as a giveaway?
I got a family 4-pack to see Sporting Jacks women in a playoff game against the Carolina Ascent. Sporting Jacks is home at Hodges Stadium this Sunday at 5 p.m. or be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010. I heard dollar beers, dollar hot dogs for the first half.
Really?
Yes.
What an incredible
I love that
promotion. All right. So, again, no text here, all call. So go ahead and give JJ a shout at 641-1010. All right, that's going to do it. I hated to start the show with such bad news today, and it's, it doesn't happen like this often. I remember being on the air 30 years ago, whenever it was, maybe 27, 28 years ago, when Chris Farley died pretty early during the broadcast, and that was tough. Go have Farley, but I know a lot of NASCAR fans out there, big time fans of Kyle Busch, who has died at the age of 41. All right, Hacker's not with you tonight. He is in Hawaii, or at least on his way to Hawaii, so he will not be here tonight or tomorrow night or next week. I do want to thank our guests. You just heard from Rafael Esparza. Always a pleasure to have him on the program. And, of course, Mark Duffner, who joined us a little bit earlier. Got a lot of good stuff from you in tonight as well, both on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, and, of course, at YouTube. All right, that's going to do it. Again, 641-1010. If you want those tickets, you can talk to RJ or JJ, whichever one answers. I'm going to go with JJ, and I'm a non-betting guy. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you to JJ. I'm Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Dan Hicken.
I've seen the man sober. He's not funny.
Jeff Prosser.
He's thick-headed and insensitive and reactionary and generally less fun to be around than any person I've ever met.
The Drill.
Is that what this is all about?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Well, at least that wasn't weird.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein and Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein and Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein and Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any